I'm sure India does not depend on Lakshadweep for its survival. Customer is not king. Management school will kill you for that. Customer is not king. Ultimate luxury is pristine nature. The absence of telephone, television, newspaper, air conditioning, hot water, room service, multi-cuisine restaurants, swimming pool, we are broadly advertised, all absent. In 1987, Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi went to Lakshadweep and had this very famous holiday there at Bangara. And they decided to privatize the government-operated hotel, Bangara Island, into a private resort. And invitations were sent for expressions of interest. Of course, they will all go to the big boys, the Tajes and the Oberois and international groups. We are still a single hotel. But eventually, we also got invited for the reason that the casino hotel happened to be located on Wellington Island, which is a port, entry port, exit port to Lakshadweep. And when this came on my desk, I wondered, what chance will we have? Is there any point wasting our time pursuing this? But the hook was that it said that those who send expressions of interest will be flown there by helicopter and flown back. And you have to pay 1,200 rupees up and down. So this is the best way to see the Lakshadweep, let alone all the rest of it. Yeah. So I sent expression of interest. We were flown in batches from here by helicopter, 7 or 8 people in a batch, and landed in the island of Bangala. The first night we spent there. Accompanying me in my batch were captains of industry. There was heads of major tour operators. The Director General of Tourism was there. We spent the first night in Bangala. Next day they flew us to Capital Island, Kavaratti. And then in Government House, the administrator was Mr. Wajahat Habibullah. He asked, said, gentlemen, now that you've seen the islands, tell us what you plan to do. Naturally, the big boys have to answer. So they said, to tell you that, we'll have to first do a detailed techno-economic feasibility study, give us 2 to 3 months, and we'll tell you what we plan to do. That seemed to be the voice from everyone. And of course, in that conversation, names like Waikiki and Honolulu were dropped. Also, numbers like 50 crores and 60 crores is dropped. To my mind, even a crore was beyond my imagination. So finally, Habibullah said, Mr. Dominic, what do you propose to do? So as far as I was concerned, I came with a helicopter ride, nothing to lose, nothing to gain. But I said, I don't need 3 months to tell you. I can tell you now. Then everybody was surprised. What is this? This bacha has got some big answer. That is what my friend from the Oberois told me. I was wondering what you were going to say later on. I said, I can imagine people coming from all over the world, other parts of the world, coming here, not for what they have there, but for experiencing what they have here. My proposal will be that. I will do what the islanders will do, for which I don't need 3 months to tell you. Give me 3 months and I'll recommission the hotel. Because the islanders put back, and then when the Prime Minister had come, they made 3 what they call VIP cottages, as different from the other parts of the hotel. In the VIP cottages, they put some very fancy, some tiles, or not tiles, some kind of plastic sheets on top. Flooring tiles they put here on the floor, so all imported for Prime Minister. All I have to do is remove all that, revert it back into thatch,
give the truss
and the terracotta tiles which the islander would do. That's all I need. Anyway, that was not, on that basis they cannot give it. Then they went on a tender. So Habibullah later tells me that because of what you said at that day, we made sure that applicants like you, tenderers like you, will not get disqualified by conditions which otherwise would input, that you must have so much of net worth, you must be running a 5-star hotel, and you must have all kinds of other conditions. All those they kept aside, so that you are not disqualified. So the tender was called and it was opened in Delhi. At which time, the basis of tender awarding is how will the government benefit best and how will local islanders do best. On these two counts, both the counts, we were L1, the highest. Oberoi was L2 for the best offer to the government. So finally, of course, we were awarded this contract to operate Bangara Mile Resort, and which, that's another story, which we ran for 22 years. Now the lease is over. I will not get into that now. And what that did was, it changed our approach in hoteliering in Kerala itself. A definition, for example, in Lakshadweep, we were wondering how much price should we charge? What should the product be? The hotel opened in 18th of December 1988. And the advertised features of the hotel was the absence of telephone, television, newspaper, air conditioning, hot water, room service, multi-cuisine restaurants, swimming pool. We all broadly advertised, all absent. Come, not despite, but because they are absent. That was, at that time, a very different and new approach. And for the absence, what do you charge? So we looked at the position there, and we found that people coming from Europe, at that time mostly in Europe, they fly Frankfurt, Mumbai, and stay in most of them would stay in the newly opened, in 86 opened, Oberoi Hotel called Oberoi Towers, who was a tender also here. And it had a tariff of US dollar, for a standard room, a tariff of US dollars 180. And then they would come here and they were staying here. For pricing, we thought, if on the way they're paying 180, logically, they should have no difficulty paying 180 in their destination also. So we also put 180. The tour operators,
$180 per day.
$180 per day. So
Those days.
So making it the most per room tariff, the highest in India, the Oberoi Towers in Mumbai, and Bangara Mile Resort in Lakshadweep. So
offering nothing.
So that was the issue. So the tour operators said, how can you do such a thing? 180. I said, look at on the way they're paying, they're staying there. But then they have to tell us, remember they're staying in the Oberois. And have you seen the chandeliers and the marble there? What have you got? You only got mud and thatch. So this was our biggest discovery, that by changing definition, or that changing from criteria for luxury from built ostentation to experience, suddenly mud and thatch also can be exceedingly luxurious. So if we started 180, and by the time we ended it in 2009 or 2009-10, the price had moved from 180 to 550 US dollars, making it even higher than the Oberoi. Similarly, for providing not nothing, but something else. The reason to travel is not built ostentation. And there were enough people coming there for that purpose. We wanted to experience nature. The ultimate luxury is pristine nature. Anything that you do which detracts against that. For example, we put a condition that first is environment, next is community, only after that the customer. In other words, customer is not king. Management school will kill you for that. Customer is not king. So the evolved modern customer, we discover, is one who will see value when the consumer's interest does not overwhelm the interest of the planet and society. It comes later afterwards. There is a famous hotelier, his name in the US, name just keeps saying, but anyway, he was asked, what are the 3 ingredients for a great hotel? He said, number 1, location. Number 2, location. Number 3, location. from that translated room with a view. The contrary to that is, that's good logic, fantastic view. Now, further progressing from that, the next customer value comes from how does the room look from the view? So if the room looks, or if you've got tall buildings and ugly structures, each of them have fantastic view. But from the view, if you look at it, if they're ugly, then too, people would not want to go to such a place. So these kind of experience in Lakshadweep made us open our eyes to a different model. From that, it changed the name from Casino Group of Hotels to CGH Earth.
You had very strong views on that.
Yes. I mean,
Do you think that that we are killing the entire thing by developing 5-star type constructions?
see, Kerala, in the Lakshadweep, certainly. They have now gone, see, Bangaram Island, at a very careful study at that time, the carrying capacity of the island is determined as 100 bodies. That means 30 rooms into 260 guests, 40 staff.
Only that much.
That is the carrying capacity. After the island, there was an island development authority. They had done a study and said this should be not more than this. Today, the bill will say you have to put not less than 200 rooms. So it appears that carrying capacity is no longer an outcome of a study. It's a government decision. This is it. And look at the building bungalows in the water. The reason why people come to a coral atoll is the virgin, the lagoon, and the atoll. That's why we come there. Everybody comes there. Maldives is that they've got 1,800 islands. And the foreigner came there, bid for the island, took it, ran it for 20 years, and then went away. And left the ruins to be cleaned up. Okay. And on the other hand, Maldives depends on tourism for its survival. I'm sure India does not depend on Lakshadweep for its survival.